It is. Are you looking for healthcare that's personalized and empowering? Sakura Women's Health provides holistic care and enables you to take charge of your health goals. Doctors Winston and Renee Alexis, along with nurse practitioner Monique Alexis, collaborates to provide patient care based on evidence and years of experience. Sakura Women's Health offers well visits, prenatal care, physicals, STD testings, and so much more. For more information on our services, do visit our website at www.sakurawomenshealth.com. That's www.sakurawomenshealth.com. We're conveniently located at 150 Northwest 70th Avenue, Suite 7, Plantation. Or call us at 954-452-4377 or 954-850-2344. Don't delay. Come on in today and let's start your health journey.
What have you been busy doing? Are you out and about in the community making a difference? Well, I would like to know. Join me, The Real McCoy, on FlexFM.online every Monday from 7 to 8, where I highlight entrepreneurs and what they're doing in the community. In order to be a guest on my show, please DM All Things Natural on Instagram or Flex FM Radio on Instagram. See you Monday at 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of year again. Culture College celebrates his Earth Strong. Black Culture Entertainment and Flavors Entertainment presents Leroy Sibley's and Friends. I'm talking about Leroy Sibbles, Michael Russell, Empress Unique, Jati, and the birthday boy himself, Culture College, live inside of the Garden, 4340 North State Road 7 in Lauderdale Lakes. Saturday, April 23rd. Doors open at 7 p.m. Showtime's 9 p.m. sharp. $35 in advance, $40 at the door. Get your tickets at Rainbow Records or Sam's West Indian Grocery. Leroy Sibbles and Friends celebrating Culture College Earth Strong. You can't miss this.
Hold on, mate. You're talking about Leroy Sibley's from the Eptones, innit? Them man, they's legendary, man. Them man, they play basement on the national anthem, king. And then you got Michael Russell. Them man said, treat you like that is big tune. You know what I mean?
Culture College birthday bash inside of the Garden, Saturday, April 23rd. Music by DJ Marlon and Martel the Mixer, hosted by John T of WAVS Radio.
Bigger man thing. Are you just gonna cut me off like that? So unprofessional, innit? Yo, I see your finger. Don't fade me out, man. Don't fade me out.
Well, Maxi Motors, place where you can buy affordable car on a budget. We do financing. We have a buy here, pay here program just for you. Most credit score is acceptable. The difference between Well Maxi Motors and others, we export your car to any Caribbean island. You can stop on in at any one of our locations and talk with one of our reps. We are conveniently located at 553 Northeast 28 Court, Pompano Beach. That's in Florida. That's 553 Northeast 28 Court, Pompano Beach. For more information and details on Well Maxi Motors, you can call us at 954-214-2071. That's 954-214-2071. Or go to our website at www.wellmaximotors.com. It's Well Maxi Motors. We take the hustle out of your car buying experience.
It's time for Caribbean News, covering current events from around the world, regionally and locally, with Sean Garrity on this station. It's news the Caribbean can use. And now, the details. CARICOM split on post of Commonwealth Secretary General. Antigua and Barbuda has described as a monumental error the decision by Jamaica to announce the nomination of its Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister, Kamina Johnson-Smith, for the post of Commonwealth Secretary General. Brown said that Jamaica was party to a recent CARICOM consensus endorsing the re-election of Baroness Patricia Scotland for the position, adding, "I think Jamaica proposed the candidate for Commonwealth Secretary General is a monumental error. which could only serve to divide the Caribbean. Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt has not yet commented on the Jamaican position, which was announced late Friday night. Scotland is a Dominican-born national whom Skerritt had again backed for re-election. At the end of their intersessional summit held in Belize last month, CARICOM leaders issued their communique in which they expressed their overwhelming support for the re-election of Baroness Patricia Scotland as Secretary General of the Commonwealth. Scotland was elected to the post at the Caribbean Heads of Government meeting in Malta in 2015, and her re-election is scheduled to take place during the June 20 to 25 Commonwealth Summit in Kigali, Rwanda. Scotland is the second Secretary General from the Caribbean and the first woman to hold the post. Investigation prompts resignation of Aruba's Prime Minister. Prime Minister of Aruba, Evelyn Weaver-Crowes, has resigned. Weaver-Crowes, the island's first female prime minister who came into power in November of 2017, resigned after prosecutors announced an investigation into one of the parties making up her ruling coalition for suspected embezzlement of funds. A government statement said Parliament has been dissolved and a new date for elections will be announced shortly. However, Weaver-Crowes will handle pending government business, including the fallout of the coronavirus pandemic, until a new government is installed. There are times when it is necessary to make difficult decisions, but when one follows the path of integrity and puts God first, one knows you are on a good path, Weaver-Crowes wrote in a Facebook post. In this difficult moment, I signed this resignation letter of our Weaver-Crowes cabinet. The tourism-dependent island's economy contracted 25% in 2020, prompting the government to launch a stimulus package worth around 13% of gross domestic product.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Fantastic DJs. For all your entertainment needs, it's fantasticdjs.com.
In entertainment, Coffee is first female Jamaican artist on UK album charts in 27 years. Coffee's debut album, Gifted, has opened at number 9 on the UK official albums chart, making her the first female Jamaican-born artist in the top 10 and the first woman from the island on the chart in 27 years. Diana King's Tougher Than Love, which was released in April of 1995, had spent 3 weeks on the charts, peaking at the number 50. Sean Paul's Dirty Rock album had peaked at number 2 in 2003, while The Trinity peaked at number 11 in 2005, followed by Imperial Blaze at number 38 in 2009, and Tomahawk Technique at number 34 in 2012. Shaggy has had 7 albums on the UK albums chart, including Hot Shot, which peaked at number 1 in 2001, and 44876 with Sting, which peaked at number 9 in 2018. Coffee's 10-track Gifted, which was released on March 25 via Promised Land Recordings and Columbia Records, is among 5 new projects in the top 10 of the weekly chart, which is compiled by the official charts company based on sales of CDs, downloads, vinyl, and weighted audio streams. In business, Secretary Buttigieg announces new fuel economy standards. U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg on Friday announced new fuel economy standards for vehicles that will begin with model year 2024.
Today, with all of these key partners represented, we are proud to announce America's new fuel economy standards. Car manufacturers will be required to produce cars, minivans, SUVs, and pickup trucks that get better mileage than ever before. And the benefits are going to be real for drivers across America. Starting in model year 2024, when these standards take effect, Americans buying a new vehicle will spend less on gas than they would have if we hadn't taken this step. I won't hit you with too much math, but just a little bit to illustrate this. Today's model year 21 vehicles, the standard is 36 miles per gallon. By 2026, we'll be over 48. So what that means is a 33% gain. It means if you're filling up 4 times a month, that would become 3 times a month by model year 2026 based on those averages. And of course, that would save a typical American household hundreds of dollars. So it's a win for every driver in America, but I would note it is a particularly big win for drivers in rural areas where residents cover more distance every day and fill up more frequently.
In sports, KC fit and ready for champs, says coach. Coach of Kingston College, Leaford Grant, says his athletes are fit and ready for the 111th staging of the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships at the National Stadium from April 5 through 9. Kingston College relinquished the boys' title to Jamaica College last year, but Grant says his athletes are better prepared this year. A maximum of 20,000 fans have been approved to attend the championships. Up to 3,500 spectators have been given clearance to occupy the grandstand and 16,500 for the bleachers on each day of the championships. Grant says after competing in an empty stadium last year, he welcomes the return of fans.
Our fans is like the 13th man, so to speak, in a football game. For us, we feed off the energy. Although we have some youngsters who has never really encountered or were able to deal with fans in the stands. But that's where we come in. We will help them to use those fans as our energy to ensure that they do the best of their abilities.
Leifert Grant, coach of Kingston College. Near Palm Beach weather, rain showers in the morning with scattered thunderstorms arriving in the afternoon with a high of 79 degrees. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour with a chance of rain 60%. Scattered thunderstorms in the evening, partly cloudy skies overnight with a low of 74 degrees. Wind southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour with a 50% chance of rain. And in Fort Lauderdale, rain showers in the morning with scattered thunderstorms arriving in the afternoon, high around 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour with a 60% chance of rain. Scattered thunderstorms during the evening, then partly cloudy overnight with a low of 74 degrees. East-southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour with a 40% chance of rain.
And that was the news, entertainment, and sports with Sean Garrity. Be sure to stay tuned to this station for more news from around the world, locally, and the Caribbean.
World, where one station see the needs to give back to its people. That's FlexXFM.online.
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Grab some popcorn, drinks, and the family, and log on to FlexXFM.online each and every Monday at 8 p.m. for Movie Monday.
House Atreides, there is no call we do not answer. There is no faith that we betray.
Smile, Gurney. I am smiling.
That's every Monday at 8 p.m. Watch a movie with us for a chance to win some amazing prizes on FlexXFM.online.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up.
It's Movie Mondays on FlexXFM.
The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
Station that matters.
Time of year, it's tax time. Do you know where to get your taxes done? Don't worry, Blair's Management Tax and Accounting Services is the place for you. This is Nigel Blair. With over 26 years of experience in the tax and accounting field, we have what it takes to prepare your taxes the right way and to make sure you take advantages of all your tax deduction and all your tax credits and get you back the maximum amount of refunds possible. So don't delay. Call us today at 954-934-5700. That's 954-934-5700.
Greetings from Galaxy Flex family. My name is Jamie Flex. Honored to co-host Sex at 6 with Gabby Flex, where we educate, empower, and entertain. Tune in every Wednesday, hump day, for Sex at 6 on Flex FM. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nigel Blair, studio host for Flex FM Sports, coverage of CASA, Caribbean America's Soccer Association League. Don't forget to subscribe to watch highlights all season long and to be sure to tune in every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Flex FM Sports for live coverage of all matches.
Make me tell you about the things them way I want, sir. Back in the days when the dancer used to warm, sir. When Clinton Lindsay used to bust them, make them want, sir. Whole heap of artists Clinton bring come up America. Some never know say Clinton Lindsay a promoter. Bring up the biggest set of artists from Jamaica. Like Super Cat and Mr. Early be the doctor. Whole heap of artists over them me can't remember. Who can remember when them used to keep Jamaica? The kind of show that used to give out no for water. To reggae artists around the world and from Jamaica. New York City where him used to do the radio.
From BMG Tax and Accounting Services. Whether you're a small business owner, a manager at a medium-sized corporation, or a self-employed freelancer, the team at BMG Tax and Accounting Services is here for you. We offer comprehensive bookkeeping and tax services designed to keep your finances in check. Keeping track of your finances takes a fair amount of time, energy, and patience, and you probably have a lot of other things on your plate. So don't struggle to keep up with all that number crunching and paperwork. Our bookkeeping services are designed to make your life easier so you can focus on what you do best. At BMG, we're dedicated to client satisfaction, and we're prepared to go the extra miles to earn your business and trust. We pride ourselves on attention to detail in all that we do, and we're ready to put our skills and knowledge to work for you. For more information about our services or to schedule a consultation.
Following program contains language and scenes that some viewers might find objectionable. Discretion in viewing is advised.
See them a jump from side to side like them a bullfrog, man. Yeah, me have me hype on them. Come on, me have me hype on them. People me love hurt me for real, and the pain when me feel me don't want it again. So I don't trust nobody who's friends with everybody. We and everybody can go. We and everybody can flex. You know the truth. Trust is something when you can't get to everybody. Me and my family, them good. And if you no red, we no red. You know how the straps go. How you feel say we a friend. And you broke bread with me enemy them. And you want pop champagne with man we send me for dead. Little Judas, you know, say something wrong with your head. Oh God, and then I tell man about business. And you're no business, but people business. Just your business is loyalty of my business. That before me sell out, more out. Cause I don't trust nobody who's friends with everybody. We and everybody can go. We and everybody can flex. You know the strips. Trust is something when you can't get to everybody. Me and my family, them good. Oh, if you're not red, we not red. You know how the straps go. Now listen up, yes, yes. Sometimes you have to disrespect them to get respect. With all respect, you can't want good with everybody. You have to know if you keep yourself in check, yeah. And keep the real ones by your side. Never you sell out your pride. Even if you think it's a go better your life, take me advice. Never trust nobody who's friends with everybody. We and everybody can go. We and everybody can flex. You know it, you know. Trust is something when you can't get to everybody. Me and my family, them good. Now if you no red, we no red. You know how the stress go. See when me tell you me love you, you know some of mean it. You know I do. Me wear me heart for my sleeve, me no hide my feelings. Gerard Taboo don't tell you God knows some of feel it. If them did there, they would have seen it. Them never trust nobody who's friends with everybody. That friendship they can't go, can't go. Me and everybody can't flex. friendship. Yo, if you know you're not real, me no want the friendship, but you a sell me. Move from near me.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lunch with TC, The Naked Truth. I am your captain speaking. I want to thank you all for your patience. I know when you look at the clock, you say, yo, this show's supposed to start 12 o'clock, right? But guess what? It did start at 12. First, what we have to do is to properly inform, inspire, and empower you. For real, when we say inform and inspire and empower you, guess what we do? The news, we can't go around that something there. So may I ask you, please, sometimes this is how we know what's happening in and around our community, by just taking that 5 minutes out to listen to the news. You know what we don't do? We don't make the news 30 minutes long. We don't make the news 15 minutes long. We don't even make the news 10 minutes long. We compress it you have this much news, and we chop and compress it to this much, where we can at least let you know what's happening. If Tom Jones drop out, you know say Tom Jones drop out. If you know say I knew you broke his Sinbolt record, you know say I knew you broke his Sinbolt record. You know say Grammy run last night, and who win Grammy? It was the American group called The Gentlemen. Well, guess what? You don't know. This is what the news is all about. We just give you the highlights of the news. So I thank you so very much for your patience and, of course, giving us the time to at least making you aware of what's going on in and around the community on a global scale. Yes, ma'am. It's what Lunch with TC is all about. Thank you guys so very much. Rick Small, good morning to you, my brother. Good afternoon, good day. Wherever you're at, listening, watching the show right now. We know that geographically some people in some time zone that is, night time as we speak, but it's midday here. It's afternoon here. As you can see, it's nice outside. Listen, this past weekend, man, we get some light and we get some rain. And I want to tell you, it can be a blessing because this is Florida and there's a lot of farmers here. Farming is big business in South Florida. So farmers glad when it rains because sometimes it's just crazy hot. I don't know. But guess what? I have news for you. Some people are trying to get rid of the farmers, them, A mechanical business or mechanical farming are going now, Some people are trying to produce some things that of late, I see some banana. This is not just between my observation, between you and I FLEXXers. I see some banana. And those bananas bigger than here to here on my hand. And those are banana. Not even banana now you used to could have differentiate banana from planting. No, you can't. For real. You used to could have differentiate banana from planting. You can't now. A whole different thing. I mean, if I tell you, real talk, I not go around it. Early meds don't know. Because early meds, them are youth, them will start grow them own things now. Them not depend upon the farmer's market anymore. You know what I mean? I have to big up my sister in New York too. Yeah, farming them into now. And I love that something there. For real. So, big up all those who are farming. If you even start from your porch, you start from your kitchen ledge. Because I remember used to visit my mom in New York before she moved to Florida. And her little gardening was like on the window ledge thing where the plant can get some sun, because plant need the air and the sun and everything, just like in order to help. Listen, the importance of plant, flowers and everything there. Sometimes you don't know, you see a plant while upon the street side, you don't even know the importance of that plant. You see some big tree around the way, you think I just shade it provide, right? Do your homework, man. Sometimes when I learn this thing in college and this thing in high school and this thing in elementary and middle school and all them thing there, and the real thing when I'm supposed to learn, when I really not get to them, I realize so I not get it. This is why we have this show here. Yes, man. A thing called nature. A thing called nature. What is nature? Do you understand? Hey, listen. Some people use them head pan we in some way, in some kind of way. King Tub, welcome, my brother. Some people use them head pan we in some kind of way, where if you really stop and check the meds and say to yourself, say, so them people are take for idiot. But because then, for them now, because it's a numbers thing. So then man, they are going to say, yo, a majority rule, So you see, if majority, I will say, yeah, for them little they can't stop what we are going to implement, How is it we get tool command some powers around the world? And then they want to dictate how we live. All you have to do is just do what we put in power to do. And what we put in power to do is to make sure say everything balanced. This man here not supposed to fire me because of this reason. That's why you're in power, you know. Not for make more money than me, then brag and show up on me and try to suppress me and work me like a slave. No, you're in power to make sure say checks and balance, everything fair across the board. So some people get this politics thing mixed up, you know. For real. We the people, we are the boss, you know. But yet, so they make it look like a them are the boss. So the role has been reversed. So guess what now? We look like idiot now. We put in for one reason, to govern some things. That's understand what governing mean. We put in for govern some things, not for govern my life in a sense. We say, you're going to tell me what me supposed to eat from what I'm not supposed to eat, how much time a day I'm supposed to eat, and if I'm drink or smoke, or if I can go out or don't go out, what time I come in, what time I stay, how long I stay out, and how much I can do this and how much I can. No, boss, say, the rest is up to me. Me just want you make sure, say, if this man hit my car and me have to pay him $10, when me turn around and hit him car, me give him $10 too. For real. No, man. What I do is totally wrong. And the people, see we the people here, with the hands closed. I just saw it sit down and I observe and I suck up all of that, you know. So I have a video with a lady in a red thing right now, I'm going to show you. Alright? And she said something that may sound stupid, but may I show you people from different parts of the world share the same perspective as this young lady. Two different parts of the world now. But I'm going to show you how the perspective are the same. People are think out there now, you know. I know one time, you know, people have time to think now. You see time, you see COVID have its up and it pros and cons, you know. COVID came about, you know, and it reset a lot of things and have some people opening them eyes now to some things. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to show you a video of a lady with a perspective of how we feel like, why is it we should have pay rent in this place here, mortgage in this place here, when, and who me I pay to? Why should I pay this money rent? Or why should I pay this money mortgage? Me don't know if I know when, if you hear a man sit down on the street side and I say all of them things, and I go say, yo boy, the Rasta mad, you know. Or yo, the youth and sister, the youth never go to school. Me don't know if I go say that, but when you don't think, when you don't have a higher thinking process, so guess what? When you don't understand the assignment, that me realize. It pass and it fly over on the head. For real. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you a video with a lady speaking her opinion and what she think about this whole notion of we the people, we as people, human being, the species, we the species. And how is it some man feel like they're more intelligent than we, so them can make more money off of we and live high life off of we. Roll the dice on that video.
Have you ever wondered, why is it that we are the only species on Earth that has to pay rent to exist? If you really think about it, it actually goes against natural law. Because if you look at the universe, it's naturally abundant. For instance, an apple has hundreds of seeds in just one apple to make hundreds more apple trees that make hundreds more apples with hundreds of more seeds. See where I'm going with this? If you just observe nature, you'll come to the conclusion that nature is exponentially limitless and abundant. And so you'll realize that you're stuck in a system that something or someone else devised. And you will inevitably ask the question, who is harvesting our sweat equity or human capital?
True. And they foolish this animal don't ban creation, you know. Yeah, you let down nature, you know. Things nature different from human being.
Oh God, you ban council land from a woman. Me ban council land from a woman. You are 2 and 2 foot, me are 2 and 2 foot. Where you get land from now and sell me? From your top. You couldn't get me to pay your fine now. You know you're trouble with and look with me. How?
That mistake. This realization about the state of our species is becoming more and more prevalent within the masses. And I think that awareness is becoming a problem. It's becoming a real problem for the entities or other beings that have created this little system, because I think people are starting to see through it now. I think that is one of the contributing factors to everything that's been going on.
See, I don't want nobody bring no money to me.
Yeah.
Right? Food is life. Food take 3 months, 6 months and all them things they hurt.
Food is life. The food, the hurt itself go through the process. Somebody make some serious money off of this thing where them call mortgage and rent and all these things. But them not own earth. Them not own it. What? So what? We look, all right, our ancestors before, there wasn't such thing as mortgage and rent and them something there. Did you know that? If somebody come up with this clever idea, you know, and say, yo, this we are going to deal with, you know, mortgage and rent, and if you want to live, yes, so listen, you were born, you know, the same man way I charge you for that, you know, born come see it to, you know. Remember, you know, it did it long before them, you know. This big earth was always there. And then people here come now and chop it up and say, yo, you run the party and you run the party, how much you can make off of that? Now, guess what? The same government who we put in power got tax, we say we need to pay a thing called property tax. In we born come see it to, you know. So we have to pay a thing called property tax. And then now, you have, on top of that, you have to pay mortgage. Then now you have another man coming with a thing called first time home owner, something another where you have to go pay some home owners insurance, and then you have to go pay association fee. And the man them just rape you royally. Financially, them are rape you. And I look on them thing and I man say, yo, them people are dread and wicked. If you don't pay nothing, them will come take you off a piece of land. So hold on there. If you have given the opportunity, wouldn't you have built that yourself? Them are going to say through them, put up the whole structure and everything. That is what you're paying for. No, give me the land which is rightfully mine, so me can build that myself. And furthermore, me can build it how me want it. Not how you want to give me it, and then if you just pay for it. And then if me want to do anything to it, me can't do nothing to it because of your association foolishness. Then it's to say people them sticking up with gun on their head. The most prosperous thing here on earth, I interview a person who owns some land in Georgia and North Florida. And the man said, land is wealth. They know that. The people them capitalize on that. They know that. Why you think most of these wars are always territory wars? Territory meaning we are come for Asia, we are come for Iraq, we are come for Zimbabwe, we are come. Land. It's land. It's all about land. From the days where this man I say one conquer Israel, this one I say one the Philistine, and this one I want this and that. It's always land, land, land. And that's where the wealth's at. So we can capture the land here, and then we build up something on it and charge some people to live on it. Wicked act. Very wicked act. But this is how wicked it get. So, the other day the queen do some traveling, right? Not the queen. The Duchess, the prince and the Duchess. If I get it, I don't even too like follow them up because them a man and woman, if you ask me. Regular man and woman. I don't know the kind of label the prince and Duchess and for them label something that. And I mean, I label as a man and a woman I travel, so them come from royalties. Now, me know me come from royalty. So when I go for them land, I get them kind of treatment there. And I must see that to not jump around and not go on like when I read. I say them people head mix up, you know, man. Them people head tie up and twist up and bleach out, you know. It bleach out like some people, I say I bleach out them ear, you know, and them face, you know. I saw some of them brain bleach out, you know. It not have nothing in it in them sense, you know. 0 sense. Them I use 0% of them brain. For real. Now, Julia, welcome, my sister. So let me give you a much better joke than that. So I see the prince and the man and his wife. I travel some countries and islands, so them depend some weak thing and live be alive because if where them going, them don't have to spend $1, you know. And the people them way, but watch your people them are idiot now. The country done poor already, you know. And una spend much money to make preparation for accommodate them 2 persons here and for them administration. We are roll with them. Alright? Now when them come and gone, now what happen? When still left in a debt, you know. The people them not come, that's why I tell them, so when them people I say them a royalty come my country, you know. Tell them, say, yo, this we need, you know. So before you come giving a big talk, because for years, 400 years, we not give a talk. We not give a talk until we're done, we're deaf right now. Right now, some money we need for we think, for the pain and suffering we want to put with you. Them people don't like do that, you know. Let me tell you how I know them not like do that. The people them mistakenly put you in a prison. You have some country where famous to that. You don't know them, I don't need to call them name. Mistakenly put you in a prison. And then after years now, somebody come up and dig up the case, turn a cold case into a hot case, and realize, wait, I know Mr. A do it, and Mr. B do it. And then Mr. B will do it now, dead and gone, you know. But Mr. A is still locked up in a prison for Mr. B crime. And then what happen now, when them realize them do something wrong, not even an apology them want to give, you know. Oh, let you out and go on. And then now, you got to tell me, say, while I was out, minding my own business before they come confiscate me, and then cook up on a pot of foolishness and lock me away for 15, 20 years. And now I miss 15, 20 years of my life. I could have a son, daughter, I could have been the president of this same. You didn't know my potential. You take that away from me. You took it all away from me. And you're going to tell me, say, me, I got to do the maths myself. Me, I got to take a calculator and say, based upon my ambition at the time, me should I make 7 figures. Yeah. Should I make X amount of figures annually? So for the 20-year XXX, this will not owe me. Yeah. Me, I got to tell you that. Say, just like how you have a calculation, so when a man and a woman married and them divorce, you can calculate and say she's supposed to get X amount in alimony, or him supposed to get X amount in alimony based upon where this a person I make. I go use the same calculation. I tell you, say, me did there road for 20 years, and this would I make cause of this is my ambition. You never know it. You never take time for me know it. You take me away. You confiscate me for 15, 20 years. And this is what my worth is. But then now you're going to tell me, say, me not deserve that. But yet still, when you can't find the money though, if you go send, go aid people for war. You see how that thing is set up? Yet still, you know, when you can't find the money, you know, billions of dollars, you know, to invest in other people war, you know, or the people might fight a war for you discreetly. Me don't know. It's my toss it up in the air while me at it still. You know what I mean? While it's fresh and hot, see me. You could have go and reason about that something there. Now, when I look at it and I said, England, yes, the British them. Same one them I say them a royalty. Royalty that mean you don't have money, man. So what is it if we give we something that is rightfully owed to us? For the pain and suffering, the country could have been further than this already. Pay we man. Pay us. So guess what me now? You have some people have a problem with it, you know. The same argument we may hear over Yassa now, you know. You know, the argument that I'm hearing in the United States is the same argument I'm hearing in England. Hear the reasoning now. In the United States of America, where there is a mother justice with a torch, saying it's supposed to be fair and balance and we have democracy and all these things. I am confused with all things. With what you say it's supposed to be and what is going on, it's two different things. Because me hear one governor come out and say he's making a law and he's going to pass a law saying that we can't use certain word we offend people. So especially if me black and my people them did slave, which they were, and they were brought here, beaten and them something, they're not supposed to talk about it. Because now them have a create a law, so we can't talk about it. So maybe when the law passed, furniture and everything, me even here saying this now, they might hold me in contempt and say me I go pay a fine or spend some day in a prison. But then again, I tell about my calculation, right? Can't say them never hear either, you know. All right. Because me I tell you this, I see and I look and I saw dark days coming. It's not going to always look as bright as it is on the outside. I see dark days coming, my people. Brace on yourself. For real. So, me hear a governor say, we can't offend nobody with our memories or our history. We're not supposed to talk about it. So, as people in England have the same argument, say, oh, if I try to get some money from something that happened a long time ago, Jesus, peace. Then when I just said to you a while ago about the man was wrongfully locked up. This man has been incarcerated for 15, 20 years wrongfully. And nobody no want to repay him when him come out. Then I see him thing in the wood with our ancestors, man. Listen, this world was built on the back of slaves, you know. I mean, if I tell you, this whole world was built on the back of slaves. And you're going to tell me now, say, We don't deserve it. I'm going to shoot a video real quick and show you guys how some people view it, how they think, how them see it. Let me just roll the dice, and you tell me what you think about this young lady. Speaking her mind, sharing her opinion, which that's what I see it as her opinion. This is why I can't reason about it. Roll the dice.
No living British citizen was part of the slave trade, you know, and we're not responsible, any of us living today, for the crimes of dead slave traders. So why are we being asked to apologize, to pay reparations? Writing someone a check is not going to undo what someone feels about their history.
What if we're still profiting from it?
But we all profit. That people all over the world are living a life that they may not have led if, you know, if slaves hadn't been used. We know that.
Yasmin disagrees.
Every building built by slaves.
This from someone. Okay, you live in a country. No, listen. Can I speak? You live in a country which, after the First World War, Germany was absolutely forced to pay reparations, and they're still paying off. Oh, the Brits don't worry about that. They've never said, oh, well, living young Germans had nothing to do with that. Japan was made to pay huge reparation bills. Somehow Britain, when called upon to at least make a gesture, the royals actually benefited hugely. So did Tate and Lye. So I find it so extraordinary that that's when you disengage.
But they lost a war, Japan and Germany.
Yeah, yes, reparations was insisted on. Nobody said, okay, we're going to forget this, it happened, it's history. When it suits us, right? And you know, I think Jamaica, I have a lot of Jamaican friends, they wouldn't have been this exercised because they have been fond of the royals without the Windrush scandal. That really shocked them.
Something odd is happening with this trip. I don't quite get it. I can't work out. Firstly, this idea that a letter has been written by 100 Jamaican leaders, that sounds like a lot of people, but then 100 leaders? And then the other thing is, I thought William and Kate had people saying, look, watch, this is going to be a tricky one. But obviously nobody said that to them. So they keep going to places where they're told they're not welcome.
Well, I think Barbados started something by declaring itself a republic and dissociating from that. So, but I think the Windrush scandal has had a real impact.
But you know,
this
now
is bobsleighing, by the way.
It seems crazy to me that we're making moral judgments today in the 21st century about what happened 200 years. You know, we had Tony Blair apologizing for the potato famine, saying, what was he said? He was expressing sorrow and regret for something that happened a century before he was born.
But I think that's
nonsense. It's empty gesture politics.
Carol, that's decency.
It's
that's
not.
Absolutely
it's
decency.
No, it isn't. It's empty gesture.
Do you know that the effects of slavery are still playing out among Black Americans and in the Caribbean? It isn't over for them.
So you think? How do you think writing a check is
extraordinary?
How is writing a check going to solve their problem?
Oh, I think
what they might feel in the head.
A little bit.
How? Tell me how. Explain how.
It is one of the poorest countries in the world.
So you think that never mind because it's one of the poorest countries. How is it going to help what they feel about slavery? How is it going to change what they feel?
They will feel it has been acknowledged.
That's what.
But you can't just
you don't acknowledge things with money.
I'm sorry.
Show you care.
I'm sorry. You can't just dismiss a history because it doesn't agree with you.
You know, I'm pretty sure that the next generation, our descendants, are going to talk about us in the way we're now talking about what happened 200 years ago. You know, are they going to criticize us for burning fossil fuels? Are they going to criticize us for letting kids have sex changes and start taking hormones aged 14?
Was it?
So we're going. Every age has wrongdoing.
My question was just that was it that long ago? And here's why I asked that. I was born in 1965. Lincoln was shot in 1865. So only 100 years before I was born. He's the guy who said, we're not having slavery in the state. It doesn't seem, suddenly to me now, it doesn't seem that long ago.
But let's just get over this myth. There were people in this country, women in particular, who while the slave trade was going on, absolutely opposed it on moral grounds. The Quakers in America and here.
But we got out ahead of our
sensibility.
But that's the point.
They knew.
But we got out ahead of the States, didn't we, on some of this stuff?
You had the abolition with William, but actually, by that time, a lot of women weren't buying sugar. because they thought, and what's his name, the Potter, the famous Potter,
Woodward. Well, hang on, Wood Stoke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Wood? Wedgwood.
They made these beautiful plaques of slaves looking up and you know, messages saying this is wrong.
Okay.
They knew.
All right. So it's still very current for some.
Ah, boy. You hear that? Hey, listen. I can tell you this. This is the kind of thing that, you know, I tell you how we the people just sit back. I want to thank the person that opposes that opinion. And of course, even give in-depth reasoning of when other country was paying England reparation fee. I remember Haiti fought for their independence and turned around after pay France reparation fee. So, I don't understand. Oh, we are the only country that didn't get reparation fee. And it's undeniable that we were heavily listen, we were producing so much, and it's not just we as a people, it's slaves. Listen, they have a thing called the Windrush movements. I don't know if you understand what that movement is, the Windrush movements, where people used to migrate to England, used to open them doors and say, boy, I see Canada trying it the other day. Some other country do it when them want to build the country. This country did it, US used to do it, and no other country doing it. And I'm not talk about no exchange programs and anything. I talk about them and give you, it's not it's kind of like an amnesty. Everybody have a whole different name for it and stuff like that. However, England, the Windrush movements, where a lot of Caribbean persons, especially from Jamaica, one time was half of Jamaica left, gone to England, migrate to England to help work and build the population. Now, after a period of time, it's like they want to deport everybody that's aligned with them who is still alive. So, for example, if your great-grandfather or great-grandmother was a part of that movement, and she was supposed to get, that person was supposed to get amnesty in terms of stay. Them supposed to get legitimate documents that saying that you are now a citizen of England because of this program. So guess what now? So the son where you have while you're there, the daughter you have while you're there, the children you have while you're there, it's like the offspring not come with the program. So they are eligible for deportation if. So I say, what the hell is going on here? Oh, one set of people can't so wicked star. For real. You have another time where you have man that gone fight war for this country, and them come back. Deportation thing are going and them name come up in it. How comes them man the name come up in a deportation? When them man they go sacrifice them life for fight for a country, that's when them come back to the country. Them can't have a drink from the same pipe as them counterparts where them go fight shoulder to shoulder with in a combat. I don't understand that. And then you're going to tell me, say, it's fear? And as the brother says, listen, he was born 65. Lincoln was what, 1865? Lincoln died or something. And at that time, he was trying to get rid of slavery in those times. And look how long. And you still have in the 19th century, it did hot, same way. This was in the 18th century. In the 19th century, it's still hot. Man, yo, listen, man, you don't take people for idiot all the while. And that me I try to tell the people, open your eyes and look around what's going on, my people. How much more of this we are going to sit down and take? How much more of this we're going to take? This is embarrassing, you know. Royalties are come to the... You should be ashamed to go to those countries. We want to owe reparation money. You should be ashamed. Me, my conscience alone will not allow me for going out. But then again, I am not them. I couldn't even go up on vacation discreetly there. Because when I go and I utilize the soil, and I know, say, boy, them, my family, them beat up and kill them people here for this place. How can I go and enjoy it? Have a heart and a conscience, man. When you go and you see the condition, then you go back and tell your mother, your grandmother, and your great-grand and say, yo, listen, them people deserve that something, you know. I go campaign for it, you know. Me, I go work vigorously day and night to ensure that them people get some reparation money, you know. Because them people has been ignored for far too long. Them have to say, I want to poorest set of country, you know. But yet still, uno use we to have the wealth that uno have. Because remember, you know, when the money I sell property at Jamaica, you know, that's what I said to my peoples, them, you know. Ah boy, I tell you. When the money I sell property at Jamaica, you know who own the plantation them? You think it's mainly Jamaicans? No. Some wealthy Englishmen have plantation property on the island, and then them buy the slave in a slave trade will go on, the Atlantic slave trade will go on, them buy slave for work them property. Then when the sugar and all them thing make now, and them sell and export and them barter and do what them want to do, where you think the wealth go? Right back to England. This is why England was so powerful and can become a superpower, and them can afford any amount of a ship and cannon and all these things in those times. For real. England, a small island, so wealthy. Yo, are the pen and paper them use, you know? England is like a little island, you know? And them are one of the world's superpower. How they did it? Pen and paper, man. For real. As you turn say Babylon system is a vampire, I say people them wicked. The people them say, as a matter of fact, for just those of you who are just joining us, I tell you, boy, blessed day to you guys. I'm a roll the dice on this one more time because I have another thing I'm going to come to on the other hour. But like how we have feed out this hour right now, let me just use this video right here for us close out the hour. Run it back again. You know what I mean? And I want you all to listen to this, my people. Listen carefully, you know, because I want you to see what others think about us, especially Jamaicans. And Jamaicans around the world that are watching. Please, me I beg you to pay attention because someone are going like on a friend. Them is not on a friend. Really and truly, them don't like you know, they are hypocrites. Them might be hypocrites around you. Every time I tell them so, I keep telling them, yo, listen, when you're not spending the money, watch now, carefully, no more than ever. Who not spending the money with? No matter, hey, me rather my sister and brother bad mind me, you know. Me rather my sister and brother them kill me off than them people where I play the big hypocrite around me. When you don't rape off my ancestors them already, you know. And get wealthy, you know, and then you want to come abuse we the offspring now. No more. No more, Dreddy. We're not taking it no more. Listen how these people think about us. Roll the dice, my producer.
No living British citizen was part of the slave trade. You know, and we're not responsible, any of us living today, for the crimes of dead slave traders. So why are we being asked to apologize, to pay reparations? Writing someone a check is not going to undo what someone feels about their history.
What if we're still profiting from it?
But we all profit. That people all over the world are living a life that they may not have led if, you know, if slaves hadn't been used.
Okay,
we know that.
Yasmin disagrees.
Every building built by slaves.
This from someone. Okay, you live in a country. No, listen. Can I speak? You live in a country which, after the First World War, Germany was absolutely forced to pay reparations, and they're still paying off. Oh, the Brits don't worry about that. They've never said, oh, well, living young Germans had nothing to do with that. Japan was made to pay huge reparation bills. Somehow Britain, when called upon to at least make a gesture, the royals actually benefited hugely. So did Tate and Lye. So I find it so extraordinary that that's when you disengage.
But they lost a war, Japan and Germany.
Yeah, yes, reparations was insisted on. Nobody said, okay, we're going to forget this, it happened, it's history. When it suits us, right? And you know, I think Jamaica, I have a lot of Jamaican friends, they wouldn't have been this exercised because they have been fond of the royals without the Windrush scandal. That really shocked them.
Something odd is happening with this trip. I don't quite get it. I can't work out. Firstly, this idea that a letter has been written by 100 Jamaican leaders, that sounds like a lot of people, but then 100 leaders? And then the other thing is, I thought William and Kate had people saying, look, watch, this is going to be a tricky one. But obviously nobody said that to them. So they keep going to places where they're told they're not welcome.
Well, I think Barbados started something by declaring itself a republic and dissociating from that. So, but I think the Windrush scandal has had a real impact.
But you know,
this
now
is bobsleighing, by the way.
It's it seems crazy to me that we're making moral judgments today in the 21st century about what happened 200 years. We had Tony Blair apologizing for the potato famine, saying, what was he said? He was expressed his sorrow and regret for something that happened a century before he was born.
But I think that's
nonsense.
I don't know,
It's empty gesture politics.
Carol, that's decency.
It's
that's
not.
Absolutely decency.
No, it isn't. It's empty gesture. It's
Do
words.
you know that the effects of slavery are still playing out among Black Americans and in the Caribbean? It isn't over for them.
So how do you think writing a check is
extraordinary?
How is writing a check going to solve their problem?
Oh, I think
what they might
help
feel in the
a
head.
little bit.
How? Tell me how. Explain how.
It is one of the poorest countries in the world.
So you think that never mind, because it's one of the poorest countries. How is it going to help what they feel about slavery? How is it going to change what they feel?
They will feel it has been acknowledged.
That's what
but
needs to happen.
You don't
acknowledge things with mud.
I'm sorry.
Show you care.
I'm sorry. You can't just dismiss a history because it doesn't agree with you.
I'm pretty sure that the next generation, our descendants, are going to talk about us in the way we're now talking about what happened 200 years ago. Are they going to criticize us for burning fossil fuels? Are they going to criticize us for letting kids have sex changes and start taking hormones aged 14?
Was it?
So we're going. Every age has wrongdoing.
My question was just that was it that long ago? And here's why I asked that. I was born in 1965. Lincoln was shot in 1865. So only 100 years before I was born. He's the guy who said, we're not having slavery in the state. It doesn't seem, suddenly to me now, it doesn't seem that long ago.
But let's just get over this myth. There were people in this country, women in particular, who, while the slave trade was going on, absolutely opposed it on moral grounds. The Quakers in America and here.
But we got out ahead
our
of the
sensibility.
But that's the point.
They knew.
But we got out ahead of the States, didn't we, on some of this stuff?
You had the abolitionists, the abolition with William, but actually, by that time, a lot of women weren't buying sugar because they thought, and what's his name, the potter, the famous potter,
Woodward. Well, hang on, Stoke. Yeah. Is it Wedgwood? Wedgwood.
They made these beautiful plaques of slaves looking up and messages saying this is wrong.
Okay.
They knew.
All right. So it's still very current for some.
Boy, you hear them argument, the boy. I tell you, boy. Some people, they are not with us. They are not with us. If you hear how strongly them feel like we're not supposed to get we're not supposed to get nothing. You know what I mean? It happened a long time ago and then people are dead and gone already. And that's how them feel, That's how them feel. My God. I'm in pain. My heart is heavy. I'm going to take a break and come right back, ladies and gentlemen. It's now 1 p.m. here in the city of South Florida, in Lauderdale. When we return, we'll be talking more on issues, just to show you. This is just putting the light on. And if it was dark to you, I hope it well brighted, well lit, like outside. Soon forward, as Gregory Isaac would have said. Soon come.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of year again. Culture Cali celebrates his Earth Strong. Black Culture Entertainment and Flavors Entertainment presents Leroy Sibbles and Friends. I'm talking about Leroy Sibbles, Michael Russell, Empress Unique, Jati, and the birthday boy himself, Culture Cali, live inside of the Garden, 4340 North State Road 7 in Lauderdale Lakes. Saturday, April 23rd. Doors open at 7 p.m. Showtime's 9 p.m. sharp. $35 in advance, $40 at the door. Get your tickets at Rainbow Records or Sam's West Indian Grocery. Leroy Sibbles and Friends celebrating Culture Cali's Earth Strong. You can't miss this.
Hold on, mate. You're talking about Leroy Sibbles from the Eptones, innit? Them man, they's legendary, man. Them man, they play bass and all the national anthem king. And then you got Michael Russell. Them man said, treat you like that is big tune. You know what I mean?
Culture Cali's birthday bash inside of the Garden, Saturday, April 23rd. Music by DJ Marlon and Martel the Mixer, hosted by John T of WAVS Radio.
Bigger man thing. Are you just going to cut me off like that? So unprofessional, innit? Yo, I see your finger. Don't fade me out, man. Don't fade me out. Girl, I do your pretty lifestyle, and your pretty lifestyle, it a mad them daily. Your file sharp, many dull knife, skin smooth, and your corrupt a good Elmer.
Ladies, are you looking for healthcare that's personalized and empowering? Sakura Women's Health provides holistic care and enables you to take charge of your health goals. Doctors Winston and Renee Alexis, along with nurse practitioner Monique Alexis, collaborates to provide patient care based on evidence and years of experience. Sakura Women's Health offers well visits, prenatal care, physicals, STD testings, and so much more. For more information on our services, do visit our website at www.sakurawomenshealth.com. That's www.sakurawomenshealth.com. We're conveniently located at 150 Northwest 70th Avenue, Suite 7, Plantation. Or call us at 954-452-4377 or 954-850-2344. Don't delay. Come on in today and let's start your health journey.
Maxi Motors, place where you can buy affordable car on a budget. We do financing. We have a buy here, pay here program just for you. Most credit score is acceptable. The difference between Maxi Motors and others, we export your car to any Caribbean island. You can stop on in at any one of our locations and talk with one of our reps. We are conveniently located at 553 Northeast 28th Court, Pompano Beach. That's in Florida. That's 553 Northeast 28th Court, Pompano Beach. For more information and details on Maxi Motors, you can call us at 954-214-2071. That's 954-214-2071. Or go to our website at www.wellmaximotors.com. It's Maxi Motors. We take the hustle out of your car buying experience. In a world where one station sees the needs to give back to its people, that's FLEXX FM.
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Grab some popcorn, drinks, and the family, and log on to FlexFM.online each and every Monday at 8 p.m. for Movie Monday.
House Atreides, there is no call we do not answer. There is no faith that we betray.
Smile, Gurney. I am smiling.
That's every Monday at 8 p.m. Watch a movie with us for a chance to win some amazing prizes on FlexFM.online.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up.
It's Movie Mondays on FLEXX FM.
The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
Yes, it's that time of year. It's tax time. Do you know where to get your taxes done? Don't worry. Blair's Management Tax and Accounting Services is the place for you. This is Nigel Blair. With over 26 years of experience in the tax and accounting field, we have what it takes to prepare your taxes the right way and to make sure you take advantages of all your tax deduction and all your tax credits and get you back the maximum amount of refunds possible. So don't delay. Call us today at 954-934-5700. That's 954-934-5700.
What have you been busy doing? Are you out and about in the community making a difference? Well, I would like to know. Join me, The Real McCoy, on FlexFM.online every Monday from 7 to 8, where I highlight entrepreneurs and what they're doing in the community. In order to be a guest on my show, please DM All Things Natural on Instagram or FLEXX FM Radio on Instagram. See you Monday at 7.
I'm Nigel Blair, studio host for FLEXX FM Sports, coverage of CASA, Caribbean America's Soccer Association League. Don't forget to subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and to be sure to tune in every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on FLEXX FM Sports for live coverage of all matches.
Lifestyle, and your pretty lifestyle, it a mad them deal. Your file sharp, many dull knife, skin smooth, and your character good Elmer.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Lunch with TC, The Naked Truth. I am your captain speaking. This is the second hour of a 2-hour show. Each and every day, weekdays, Monday through Thursday. On a Friday, we do 12 to 5. We extend because it's a more entertaining, a vibe kind of day. So that's what we look for on a Friday to jumpstart your weekend. So that's what's up. Damien White, good afternoon, good day, good morning, good night, wherever you're at right now. Locally, I don't know where you're at. If you're locally in Europe, if you're in on the west side, such as West Indies or South America, yeah, you're all over the place, for real. But it's good when you can travel and get to see different things and different places, right? And you understand, you see different cultures and how different people live. So when you come to this side, you can know, say, be a foolishness to go on that side, all right? For real. The only persons that can understand what's really going on right now with, if you were listening to the first hour of the show and you see some of the stuff that we talk about just now, then you will have to be traveling to understand how some people perspective and how different it is in compared to the Western side of the world, and how we make it look like democracy is a thing and we're fair here and we're just there, and it's all BS, my brother. All BS. And here's why I say it's BS. Some people will say, if you don't like it, why are you still here? Listen, honestly, it's not why anyone is still anywhere. Everywhere belongs to anyone. You're born, come see it. And you should be free to go anywhere on planet Earth that you choose, so as long as you have the finance to do so. I do understand that it takes X amount of currency to travel here, because if a jet for fly from here to a next destination, it's going to take fuel. Fuel costs money. It's going to take for maintenance costs money, yes. So if you have your money, you shouldn't go through the scrutiny where, oh, we want to know if you're this and if you're that. Listen, you see people who them a tell us, say, them a scrutinize us, say, we don't know if you are come do this. Them know who are come do that. Them know who is a terror threat to the land that they're on. Because them don't own the land. This land don't belong to nobody. This land belongs to everybody. We should be free to commute anywhere around the world where we want to go. We just get up today and say, we don't need to apply for a visa here or apply for that there and apply. As long as you have your money, you book your ticket and you go where you want to go. You want to stay on a hotel or you want to stay at bush, you go camp out. Then you go buy camping gears and off-spray and them thing there. You go camping. Or if you want to go to a luxury hotel where they have the jacuzzi and all the amenities, then you pay your money and go get that. But as long as you have your money, you should not go through them scrutinizing them, man. For real. Them know who is a threat to the land that they're on. They know that. Me and you are not a threat to them place there. Because me ain't have the money, the kind of money, to do the kind of things where them say them people here do. We don't have the kind of money there. All right. If that money was accessible to people, let me ask you a question. Why America have to send so much money to Ukraine if anybody could have do what they want to do? Then I say, we don't have them money, and millions of money have to send it out. Them can't send a 120 or a 150 through Western Union and go give them money there. No. Billions. We don't have them money there. So we are not the threat. We are clearly not the threat. They are the... Yo, listen. Some big man in a suit and tie can't reason, you know. And when them have them disagreement, you know, them ego just get to them and them feel like say, yo, me have bigger balls than you, you know. That's why it's going on. And at the end of the day, if you look at the casualty counts, you know, and see me and you, you know, have nothing, you know. Them do head count with, you know. How were they? How come I don't even see what's going on? I asked myself a question last week here on this show. And I think I posed a question out there to the Flexers. And I said, do you think that we can get back to a place? Because I did show that, I promised that I was going to show a documentary after what Jamaica was like in the 30s. Now, in the 30s, Jamaica, they still have struggled with the whole slave mentality under the British regime. And when we wiggle and tackle and come out of that, because you feel as if, even though in the 30s and the 40s in Jamaica, we weren't under the pressure of the oppressions, the oppressor them would have killed in that same way. And the resilience of our foreparents, our grandparents, and our parents them, why we can dare today and have a voice. And you know how me feel about that, who some people say, who give them a voice? I have foreparents them and grandparents and parents them are still there, some of whom pass off and gone, a fight, so you can have a voice today where them a try censor right now. In a real life, that me I tell you. Now, I look at it and I said to myself, you see, if I look at the documentary and I see how we were living and the things that we have to do and the hard work where our people put in, schooling and education wasn't a privilege to us back then. It's only a certain people it was a privilege to. Those who want to speak the Queen's English feel like them better than those who speak Patois when Patois are the thing. Now, just recently, people around the world start to embrace Patois because when them go in a different country, them hear people upon Wagwan, yes, Rasta, Ayman, and start to embrace for them language who them a try get away from them own language. Other people are embrace it. Like everything else. The other people them enjoy for them thing, them beaches and them amenities where them having at the islands. While them down there kill have them one another for foolishness. What? Turf war become aware that colour where the part of the prominent colour is. Come on now. Let me give you a much better joke than that. Jamaica struggle financially. Me not hide and tell you that. Me I tell you that publicly and openly. We haven't gotten over the poison of the communism, the capitalism, the politics and the religion and the pot of soup will bubble up all of that. All of that in the pot of soup, we haven't gotten over it. We still have tried to drench ourselves from the poison. And a few of us blood are still toxic with it. Now, the crime rate in my country is not as bad as the media publish it to be. There's some wicked thing when I see I go around the world, like I see some people are bombed some hospital. I haven't seen that in my country. I have seen youths just wake up one day from home and go to school and shoot up the whole school. I haven't seen that in my country. Yes, so we see one and two little schoolgirls fight over penis and I stab up one another. Yes, we may see a brother stab up his brother over a cell phone because I want him to on the commercial so him feel like the phone has more value than his brother's life. Yes, we may see a mother left her son somewhere because she can't manage it and she said, boy, it's either this or suicide, or she take both to do suicide, murder, suicide. She take that pity life and fear life. But on a broader scale, I never see a man walk go in a church and try to shoot up the whole congregation in a church. We have seen drive-by shooting, even just recently we have seen drive-by shooting in our country where two icons in the entertainment business have gone simultaneously. The Mighty Diamonds. I think they were the two last original members of the group. Just like that. But we have seen things that's happening around the world where a place just out of the blues, you sleep and you hear a siren go off and bomb just start rain down upon you for no reason whatsoever. Because you not go pointing on nobody's face now, you not go take nobody's life so people are retaliate with you. It's two heads of government have a disagreement and you have to run left the apartment or the house or the building where you there. You don't have nothing to do with it, you just see a siren go off and you wonder what's going on, you know. Because one man say yes to this and a man say no to it. And a gunshot that start rain. I haven't seen it in my country. I've seen political war, which one of the biggest of all was 1980 between Labour Right and PNP, which is the JLP, Jamaica Labour Party, and the PNP is the People's National Party. I've seen them have disagreement just for vote on them. Other countries, this is how terrible it is. So this is what we're now going to do. You need to defend your turf, so we're going to send you some guns. Hey, hold on. Just like what you see happening in Ukraine right now. A man going to send some ammunition. You remember when Castro did want to take over Haiti, the rebellion, when Castro when he want to take over Haiti, he couldn't just go and go do it with cutlass and knife. Because the government that was in power defeated him once before. So guess what he have to come in with? He have to go get aid from other people and he asks other people for aid. Guess what them aid him with? Guns. There was never anything of that nature in my country, from my country, not before even independence. From my country, I fight for get independence. We have never gotten aid from no other country where we say, yo, but guess what other country aid us with? They aid us with gun. In at the time of our country, economy a go up, then put some gun in our country and bring the economy down. Look at that. When we did need help to get rid of England out of our country, and when them did for come in and say, yo, you know, see we abolish slavery, what do do over here, so? Yo, give people them freedom. When them did for come in and give us that assistance, them never do it. England did have to do that on them own. They say, oh, yo, can't bother here, we have spent too much money here, man. It's like a business deal. It was a business plan. Yo, we have spent too much money over here, so give them the people them independent there so we can save some money over that side there. That's exactly what happened, you know. And you're going to tell me now that after all this time, we now come up and say we are independent, but still rule neatly under the British regime, you know. The British government still have a finger and a foot in the land, you know, in the island, you know. Yes, man. If it wasn't so, they wouldn't even have a governor general, but them have a governor general simply means that somebody are governor. That's the hierarchy. Yeah. When you talk about the hierarchy, the governor general is the highest than even the prime minister in our country. Why do we need that? Then we don't need no prime minister then. We could just go and run the country under a governor general. Anyhow, my country has struggled with the virus of crime. And for some reason we can't seem to get out of it because I think that it's making somebody wealthy. And it's not only somebody outside of the country, somebody inside of the country getting paid off. And I'm not talking about the little boys and girls who are bearing arms in the country right now and not knowing what to do while they must shoot off their brothers and sisters. Somebody bigger than that, than they are, is benefiting from all of that. When we see a news come out of the country about a drive-by, you ask yourself, all right, so turf war are going, we don't have one thing we don't manufacture in Jamaica is guns and ammunition. We don't. Cars we have to import. Can we have an assembly line where we can make our own cars? Why would I forget approval from other countries for us to have a line? While if we want a vehicle, we have to import it from a foreign country. I be it done in my island. That's I think some of the most creative boys and girls right now is in Jamaica, and I can show you clippings and how these kids use box and create remote cars and trucks and planes And you tell me, say, nobody with them little 2 cents not smart enough and say, make we build one factory like what them have the GM factory over here, where make the cars them and so forth, and make we import parts and build our own car and give people down the work. You tell me, say, we not have the ability to do that. Why, if we need any car now, it have to be car we import? Why there's no car that's made in Jamaica? Why there's no motorcycle that's made in Jamaica? At 2022, this is my people. It's 2022. What are we doing? The only thing we have is reggae music that we can say made in Jamaica. For real? That's the only thing? I want fingers to be pointing now to tell me of some things that we can, hey listen, some of the most gifted persons on planet Earth is in Jamaica. I swear to you. Some of the most gifted human beings, I believe when I say some things. Have you ever seen some real sculpture? Sculpture that looks so real, you have to go up and really touch it to see what it is. I saw a sculpture of Martin Luther King that was being made in Atlanta, and that was being made by a Jamaican. You know how proud I feel? But yet still, you feel as if you don't have the ability. Don't tell me nothing about the finance now. Do not tell me anything about the finance. Because we have banks, big banks in Jamaica that can come together. Yo, there's them people here, them mentally separated first. So we divided first. No man no one say them bigger than a man. And it's hard for a man and a man or a man and a woman to go in collaboration to create an entity that can build employment and so forth. It's just about the betterment of one. Not many. Or all of us. It's just the betterment of one. That's how them see it. And I'm telling you guys this. Until we can find unity within ourselves in that island, you're going to see a whole different thing. But let me tell you what's holding down the island. And this is real talk. I mean, I'll take back that talk here. I wish I had one here. This is what's holding down the island of Jamaica. You see that thing there? Where them have majority of, we call church, it's a whole along the country. The book where them read called the Bible, a whole along the country. Big and serious. May I tell you that? When I say it's a whole down the country, it's holding down the country because my people is not a set of people that understand that book. And because them don't understand that book, them lost to it. Show me a group of people who don't have no understanding. I'm going to show you a group of people that is scattered. Real talk. Show me a group of people that doesn't understand how to read and write. I'm going to show you a group of people that is scattered. That means that your communications are going to be off. When you now can't communicate with each other because you do not understand each other. For real. You don't. And every square mile is a church. If you Google it, you find that Jamaica have the most churches. The smallest island in the world to rot, it have the most church. That means people must live in a church, man. Literally, live in a church. That's why when a singer-songwriter come with a song, say, I feel like boom in a church. Me understand what I mean when him say that. When the man sing a song, we say, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. This is a man who read the same book and come back, analyze it and come back and tell you that. Saying feel like boom in a church. Listen. When I look through these two eyes that I have, and I look upon us as a species, I look upon us as a being. And I said, only if we can get along, you'll see the vast and the drastic change. I sit and I hear some politician, how them speak, and I'm saying to myself that them people don't have love for people. Them people have love for self. It's all about self. There's nothing about we in it. It's just me. Them turn the W upside down. Well, it's time for us to turn that M upside down and bring it back to we the people. I said, if we can find it in ourselves to reason with each other and try to understand each other, reasoning goes a long way, you know. All it takes a reasoning, effective reasoning. I speak this all the time. I say it's not about numbers to me, you know. It's about reaching one person at a time. My grandparents would say one cocoa, full basket. You put one today, you put one tomorrow, you put one next week, you put one the other week, you put one next month, one the other month. Before you know it, basket turn over, can't hold. It's not about that big work one time. One at a time. One at a time. We can do it. We can do it, my people. I believe in you, you believe in me, and together we can achieve. I have the idea, and you have the supply. And if we put that together, how great it is. But we got this congregation, and we got this congregation, and them a say something. And then you move from here and you go to this community, go live with only have this congregation, and you gone there and them a say something. And you just get confused. Oh, me know you used to live in Savlamar and you move to Montego Bay. And you move from Montego Bay to Kingston. And you move from Kingston to St. Catherine. You move from St. Catherine to Portland, from Portland to St. Mary, from St. Mary to St. Anne, St. Anne to Clarendon, Clarendon to... Listen, and when you go in a Manchester and you start go church, all of them, everywhere you move go is a different church, because if you're a church goer, you know, like most Jamaicans are. That is a part of our culture. Church is a part of our culture. We can't tell you that much. Yvette, Enriquez Dawkins, welcome, my sister. Church is a part of our culture. So you must know that it plays a major role in our upbringing. And if that confuses the people, they're not going to confuse your upbringing, man. And so it's like we can't reach. All right, if somebody come and think any different or say anything different, we want to slaughter them. With words. Let me just correct that. We want to slaughter them with words. Them no sin, them this, them that, them this. You slaughter them. Because them not share the same views as you. People are allowed to. We're at what point can we agree to disagree? Not because you're a Catholic and I'm a Jehovah's Witness, or I'm a Seventh-day, or I'm a Pentecostal, or I'm a whatever. At the end of the day, God, the whole one is supposed to say, so only make me the outsider. I see that. Have you ever seen this? Have you ever seen a Jehovah's Witness say, yo, me I go 7 days next week. I'm to my 7-day friend, may I invite you back a Watchtower next week. May I invite you at the Kingdom Hall next week. You ever heard that? They not support one another. So, that's why I mean I read them book. What your book I tell you say? Me never say a 7 days say them I go a Kingdom Hall yet. I never say a Kingdom Hall person say, yo, me I go my friend 7-day church yet. Me never, you may see it, but me never see it. I have never seen it. You may see it. I have never seen it. However, them supposed to say the same God. All of them are read one book, the Bible, whether this a version, the New English version, the King James version, the version. At the end of the day in the Bible, still the biblical book when I read. And still the book of life when the son I read. And the teaching are somewhat similar, so why so much evil are in? And there's so many churches per square mile in the island. Because the people them are confused. The teaching from the shepherd are confused, the sheep them, so them all over the place, they are scattered. I'm going to roll the dice on a video, and I want you to listen to the words in this carefully, my people. V.I. Watson, welcome, my brother. Always a pleasure, my artist. Always a pleasure. Go and put on a show and have you as a headliner. Love and respect. Thanks for being here. Yvette Enriquez Dawkins, good. It's good to have you here. Utan. Damien, good to have you here, man. Coach Early Meds. Wagwan, man. Julia. Rick. I tell you, mad love and respect. Family, I am going to roll the dice on this video, and I would love for you to watch this video carefully and be open-minded while watching it. Don't just lock yourself in a box while watching it. Just be open-minded, please, and thanks. Just think about what the young lady is saying. Don't just knock the young lady. But she may make sense to some of you, and she may not. But don't just knock it because she has said something that you disagree about. All I'm asking you to do is just watch it with me. All right? So I could just roll the dice on it, and then we'll come reason about it. Roll the dice on that one there.
We cannot possibly understand Western culture and the history of Western culture without the Bible.
Professor Francesca Stavrokopoulou is the head of theology and religion at the University of Exeter in the UK. She's a renowned biblical scholar who's devoted her life to looking for the historical evidence of one of the world's most important books.
But I'm not a fundamentalist who takes every word of the Bible as fact. I think the truth is much more interesting.
Would you please welcome Francesca Stavrokopoulou? I can't believe I stumbled on Francesca. What are the odds of that? So we're just going to talk about the Bible, and I want to learn more about it. First off, who wrote it and when?
Some people think that Moses wrote it, which he didn't, because Moses didn't exist. So then you have to think, well, who did write it? And it's basically a collection of different authors from centuries and centuries. So probably with the Hebrew Bible or Old Testament, you're talking about at least 500 years in the making. With the New Testament, you're talking about probably 150 to 200 years in the making. But basically, it was all written by men with daddy issues.
So here's the thing. There are people right now writing complaint letters just on the first answer to the first question. Right, so I'm wondering, why is taking a historical approach to the Bible so controversial?
It's controversial because when you do take a historical approach, so look at the archaeological evidence for sort of events or people described in the Bible, it's very hard to find corroborating evidence to support the biblical claims about the past. So once you start saying, did this actually happen or not? So was Jonah swallowed by a big fish? Obviously, no, he wasn't swallowed by a big fish. Was there an exodus from Egypt? No, there wasn't an exodus. So once you start doing that, then you have to start doubting the credibility of all the other claims that the Bible makes. And that's why people get annoyed, because for some reason, people like to think that the Bible's true.
Right. People like to think that the Bible is true.
Yeah.
We'll get back. One of the first things you said was Moses wasn't real.
Yeah.
Right, now, we've just had Pesach, the celebration of freedom of the Jews.
Yeah.
Led by Moses to freedom.
Yeah.
And you're saying he wasn't real.
No, he probably wasn't. So there's a lot about him that's really interesting. So in his tradition, the traditions that are told about him, so Moses is an Egyptian name. The Hebrew Bible writers kind of say, this name is derived from a Hebrew verb, meaning to draw out of the water, so when he was a baby and kind of set into the basket of reeds. But actually...
So far, story checks out.
So far, it checks out, except that Moses himself, there's no evidence for him being a historical figure, like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all of that. It's all made up. But he's drawn on different sorts of religious figures that probably were around very broadly in the culture. So he's like a bit of a magician. So, you know, he's like, woo, look at this star.
Yeah, we all like a good magician, but some people want to believe it's more than that. How do you know? Like when you say none of that was real, it was all made up, how do you know?
Because dating the text, you can see in terms of the Hebrew words that are used, in terms of some of the details, like references to camels. There were no camels in that part of the world at that time. That kind of stuff.
You lied to me, Cecil B. DeMille.
But yeah, that kind of detail tells you that these texts are written many centuries after the events that they're describing. And then you can see the ideology. Well, why are they telling the story about escape from slavery and oppression and movement into a promised land? It's because the writers themselves were in their own kind of slavery and oppression, but in Babylon in the 6th century BCE, not in Egypt, hundreds and hundreds of years before that.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It makes perfect sense. But you love the Bible.
Yeah, I do.
Why? Like, if you like go, well, that's not real, he's not a guy.
Yeah.
Why do you love it so much?
Because it's like the most amazing collection of ancient literature. It's like reading, it's like going into a time capsule. It's like time travelling, and you get to to read all about these different sorts of myths and legends. Like, you know, one of the most important myths in the Old Testament Hebrew Bible is the idea that God had to fight a massive sea dragon to create the world. Now, you don't get that in Genesis. You get hints of it in Genesis, but you do get it.
Hang on, what are the hints?
The hints?
What, no, like, I'm just curious, like, it's like, yeah, Ixnay on the Agandre, like, what was it? Like, what's...
So one of the hints is, on the such and such a day when God was making the world, he made the great sea monsters. And the word that they don't actually do that in the Bible, but the word that they use is the ancient word for this, it's tanin, which is this ancient, mythical, watery, ferocious chaos monster, like a sea dragon. But then we read all about his actual battle with the sea dragon in the book of Isaiah and in the book of Job and in the Psalms. So it's all there. It's just that everyone kind of privileges the beginning of the book because most people get bored by the time they get to, like, Leviticus, and they don't bother reading.
There's just so much admin in Leviticus.
I know,
it's like, this is what you do with mildew. Put it in a drawer, see if it grows. Call the rabbi, burn your house down. Like,
but detail's important in that kind of thing, you know, particularly.
Well, mildew it still plagues us today. So I've been to Jerusalem, the old city of Jerusalem, and it's amazing when the places mentioned in the Bible are in front of you. Like, I stood in the Garden of Gethsemane, and the fact that these are real places starts to make you feel like this is more true. Why does it become more compelling? Because it's in a place that exists.
Whether you're, you know, an atheist like me or you're religious like other people, the Bible has played such a massive role in our lives, right from when we're kids, that somehow to be in these places, I think you can't but help. Just feel engaged and excited and curious, and to go somewhere like Jerusalem, where obviously the Bible still matters, because as we know, Jerusalem is still the kind of the heart, the kind of the central place for Judaism, Christianity, and obviously Islam as well. And we know the political tensions, we see it on the news all the time. You can't but help feel impacted by that.
Now, you've already pointed out a few things that weren't real in the Bible.
Yeah.
What was real? Like, I believe the Garden of Eden, you believe, was a real place.
Well, I believe it's based on a real place. It's based on the Jerusalem temple that was supposedly built by Solomon and was destroyed, and we think probably historically it was destroyed by the Babylonians in the 6th century BCE. And the temple itself is meant to be like the dwelling place of the god. And like humans, God wants a nice house and he wants a nice garden. And it's the meeting place between the heavenly realm and the earthly realm. And so it was filled with trees, and it was a very sensory experience going into the temple. There were nice smells of incense, and that's what the story of Eden is based on. The idea is that human beings, or a king in this case, was in a very privileged position like that with God. He messes up, he gets expelled from the garden, so he's like thrown out of the temple, and that's when the temple historically is destroyed and the kings of Israel no longer exist.
So if you were editing the Bible, what would you take out? Is there anything that you'd remove?
New Testament? No.
I mean, that's pretty controversial. Surely not all of the New Testament.
Okay. Paul. Anything written by St. Paul?
Just all of Paul?
Yes.
That's like taking Paul out of the Beatles. He was pretty important. No, because Paul wrote a huge amount of the New Testament.
Yeah.
He's by and large the founder of the church.
He is the founder of Christianity.
So what have you got against Paul?
It goes on and on and on.
It is a bit like he took everything he wrote. Like, I wrote some letters to the Corinthians. I'll put that in.
Yeah.
Did the Corinthians ever write back?
You know, we don't know if they did. Maybe. But he's so down on humanity. He's just really kind of like, oh, you humans, you're so bad, you're so sinful. And it's like, oh, come on. We're not that bad. The Hebrew Bible, everyone thinks that the God of the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, is the kind of like vengeful, hateful, angry one who's like kicking ass all the time. And that the God of the New Testament is kind of like, oh, I love you. But it's not like that at all. The God of the New Testament, he's gone. He's like not interested at all in humanity. Like, he's not really present in the New Testament. It's all about Jesus.
Because that's the thing, like early on in the Bible, God rocks up. Like, God is literally there, and he goes, hey, Abraham, do this. Moses, here's some 10 Commandments. Exactly. They'll be useful. Yeah. And then he's talking directly to people.
Yeah.
And then it becomes people saying, oh, you just missed him. God was here, and he said this. And then by the end of it, it's like, I know a guy who spoke to a dude who saw...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to be honest, you know, Paul started off as a Jew, like Jesus. Jesus was a Jew. I think he'd be spinning in his grave if he knew what was really going on in his name now. He was a Jew. He was a very passionate Jewish man. You know, like John the Baptist was probably sort of Jesus' initial teacher. And like Jesus kind of then used this breakaway movement. You know, it's kind of like, you know, some pop group, like the Beatles, like kind of splitting up, and like John going off with Yoko. It's problematic.
That is, I'm sorry, that is the most controversial thing I've ever heard anyone say in my life, is that the career of Jesus is like John teaming up with Yoko. That's just extraordinary. But here's the thing, okay, like you're an atheist.
Yeah.
But you're passionate about the Bible.
Yeah.
But you can understand that people could be quite angry at all of the things that you're saying right now.
People are always angry with me because I'm an atheist, but because I'm a woman, because I'm a professor.
And what is harder in your line of work, being an atheist or a woman?
I think being a woman is still harder than being an atheist. Just because I'm an atheist, because people can't say to me, because most people in my field, most academics are Christian or Jewish, so I say to them, I haven't got the same emotional investment in these texts as you do, but nonetheless, I still think these texts are really important. They are the absolute bedrock of Western cultural preferences and values. So it's important, it's responsible, I think, to critique those ideas and say where they come from and how kind of representative should this be? How important should these texts be? The Bible is a cultural icon, whether we like it or not, whether we believe in it or not. So that's why it's important to study it. But I think I've got one up on most other scholars because I'm not invested in it. It's not going to, I mean, my soul's not going to hell or to heaven because I don't believe in a soul and I don't believe in hell and I don't believe in...
Do you ever worry that you might hurt people by saying what you think is the factual truth about the Bible?
No, because I don't think, I'm not like some kind of Richard Dawkins figure, who's obviously the most famous atheist in the world, probably. Like, he's
the John Lennon of atheism, yeah, you're right, yeah.
But he's rude to people, he's unkind to people, I think, and he tells people that they're stupid. I don't think that people that have faith or belief are stupid at all. That's their choice, and I recognise that there are lots of different ways of being in the world. So at the same time, so I try and be polite to people. I'll say what I think. I'll say, yeah, well, I don't think Moses existed. Other scholars would disagree with me. A lot of scholars would agree with me. But I don't want to be rude about it, so I respect other people because I'm a human being and I like people.
I can honestly say to my fellow flexers out there that have heard that there's such a thing called atheists. Yes, there is. And there's such a thing called Christians and Buddhas and all these things. People have different preferences. People have different choices and they choose to believe what they want to believe in, and they will create a whole bed for that, comfortable that they can lie in it and believe it. So believers, believe, kill, believe, cure. My grandparents used to say that. My parents adapt that from my grandparents and say that. So it's what goes down. And guess what? These are the person. You see, she's a professor and she have the upper hand of, you know, probably teaching this to masses, and maybe the laws that is given that you probably cannot, of course, implement your personal belief in anyone. And I believe that. I don't want you to impose your belief upon anyone. If your belief, it is your belief. So keep that to yourself, not our belief, but your belief. So you keep that to yourself. However, there's a few things that she said that I'm in agreement with, and there's a few that doesn't sit well with me. She's just this person just like I am, who used to read this and then started to question it. But again, it's her delivery and how she deliver it. But again, it's her belief. You know what I mean? Now, what do you think though? Do you think she's onto something, or do you think that in her own opinion, she may be right or may be wrong? We'll discuss that on another part of the show right here on Lunch with TC, The Naked Truth. That's what I like about this show. All right, so earlier on the previous hour, I said that England is supposed to give some reparation money, and them a itch. Everybody else I get and everybody else I give and so forth. But them not rate we, because we don't even rate ourselves. And I tell you, I said on the previous hour that education, they feed us education and we absorb it and don't use it to our advantage. However, it's to our disadvantage. Now, what I see happening is we're not listening when some people are talking, because we feel like the title at them all bigger than you. And I keep saying this to my flexers. No man no more than no man, no woman no more than a woman. No, all of it's human being. We are equal. everybody. Now watch the title. Now watch because she married or him married, them more than and better than you. Or because she married and him married and them have a baby, for them baby is more blessed than yours because your baby born out of wedlock. Now watch, that's something them people. Don't get lost with the seasoning. Do not get lost with this herbs and spice. Natural is the way. Sometimes if you can't eat the food without salt, it's even better for you. Sometimes if you can't eat the food without pepper, it's better for you. Don't watch that. Because some people use some word and because, all right, so just last week, the United States said they're going to give Jamaica, a couple millions for help out with certain things, right? Prime Minister proud of it, you know. But now watch your setup, you know. Me said this man you're not watching the setup, King Tub. I'm not watching it. Because there's a word that has been used, you know. And I want to listen carefully to the word that was used. All right? Now, I'm going to let you hear what has been said, right? Now, them have a plan for Jamaica. And the Vice President, which is Miss Kamala Harris, she's the one who made the statement, but I wanted to listen to how she worded it. Because remember, this go public, you know. So how she worded it go public. So them can't come and say, no, I never that to say. Yes, that's what she said. It's somewhat like a loan. If you, all right, listen.
In a way that we fully intend will
Let's
between the Prime Minister Andrew Holness,
let's start this over, you know, because
and Vice President of the
when you get the fullness thereof of this thing, because as Celine Dion said, this is serious,
United States,
right?
it's Kamala Harris at the White House.
Listen.
Jamaica will receive $30 million from the United States to help strengthen the country's public health, security, and economy. The announcement was made following a meeting between Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, at the White House on Wednesday.
Listen.
The United States, and I am announcing today, will be investing $20 million to assist in the...
Stop right there, sir. Will be investing. Key word, you know, will be investing. All right. Let me and you, we are done now, because we never go school, we never go Sunday school, so we are done. We the people are done. When the what invest mean? When somebody say, oh, me I invest this, or I'm investing in this business, or I'm investing in this bank, or I'm investing in this person. What does that mean? Because you know when you say invest, it come back with a return, you know. Because the reporter says, oh, the United States will be giving. No, they will be investing. Operative word there is investing. Listen.
Jamaica will receive $30 million from the United States to help strengthen the country's public health, security, and economy. The announcement was made following a meeting between Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, at the White House on Wednesday. The United States, and I am announcing today, will be investing $20 million to assist in the strengthening and the expansion of Jamaica's commerce in a way that we fully intend will have an impact in strengthening the economy of Jamaica and drive economic growth.
Vice President Harris says the priority is on youth, with a strong focus on at-risk youth.
We are announcing now to provide $10 million to target at-risk youth in Jamaica through a number of initiatives that we believe will have exponential impact not only on the issue of crime prevention, but what we intend as well, which is to strengthen, as you have described, the natural human capital that exists in Jamaica among young people.
Harris, in brief remarks during a photo opportunity with reporters, noted her Jamaican descent and trips to the country in her childhood years as she welcomed Mr. Holness. Prime Minister Holness took the opportunity to highlight what her ascension to the post of Vice President means for the women of the Caribbean.
You have been a source of inspiration and great pride for many Caribbean people. In particular, our young women in the region. And we are indeed seeing an increase in the political participation of young women, and this diversity in the political space will augur well for the region.
Mr. Holness shared that both of the pandemic and other global developments.
In this regard,
let me pause it right there, my people, and say this. The wording is the key word. Investing. The United States will be investing, what, 30 million in Jamaica economy. Investing, they are going to need a return, you know. A return is going to be, hey, listen, that, and this is how we always get caught up, you know, with the bars between the fence, you know, trying to make the fence pop down, you know, because this man I got there with a thing. Right now, me as a prime minister of the country, me I go say up front, because this was said publicly, you know, the United States will be investing that amount into the economy. Would I say, hold on there, Madam Speaker. When you say invest, what do you mean? And I go, this is not something I want to give us to help build our economy? Or that's when I go need back a return on this? Explain. For real. But no, I tell you, all the while, I have seen this. I remember, I will never forget this as a youth, going to high school. I was around, what, 15 or 16 years old at the time, sitting down watching the news because I'm so into what's going on, the public affair that's going on in and around the island, in my country, while living there. I want to know something happen now, maybe if I travel, go maybe what to expect. So I was keen on the news. And when I saw that there was a representative that came to Jamaica from the United States, and they were having a press conference, and they said to the Prime Minister, which was P.J. Patterson at the time, the party that was in power was the PNP, the People's National Party, and them turned to this man and said to this man that we're going to need some assistance from you to strengthen up your borders, to help us to stop the drugs, the amount of drugs that coming in through the borders, through your borders and so forth. And my Prime Minister said, yes, yes, yes. And him say, yeah, that would be a good thing. And we're looking for a joint effort in, you know, once we do that, that way we can clamp down upon the guns them coming in from your border. The man them turned to my Prime Minister and say, yo, really and truly, you know, that is your problem, you know, because once you clamp down on your border, then nothing will be a come through it. Then me, as I look at 15, 16-year-old youth, I say, may I wait upon my Prime Minister counter argument? And my Prime Minister said, sure, sure. Now the man said, sure, sure. And me I said, brother, you idiot, you know. Me said next election, I go vote for the next party. For real. Because brother, you are a real idiot. Before him say, since that's my problem, then that's your problem then. If you strengthen your border from the gun them for coming, then the fact say your border got strengthened, that means the drugs, no matter how they might try to push drug through, it can't come through because your border strengthened. But if you want us to have a joint effort in clamping on our borders, and me I tell you, say, I want you to help me to prevent the guns them from coming into my... Oh no, that's your problem because we have bigger fish to fry. Really? Then may have snapper and wench and parrot fish for fry too. As a matter of fact, a shark and whale we have a fry in our island, you know. So we can't help you with that. And that me would have said to them. But them man, yeah, them feel like, oh, this is politics, you know, right now we have some money where we owe them and we don't want cause no problem, we don't want to disturb them tranquility in a way where them start to say, all right, give X amount for your owe and we want it in full. Or else we're going to do this. No, boss, you don't need to grow some balls as big man and big woman where we put in a power for run the country because them now come talk to we the people. Because listen, the other day when the Queen them come when they the Duchess and them royal people that come to Jamaica, you know, the people in the grounds that say, yo, change your itinerary, you know. I Prime Minister them and push it, you know. The same people when we put for stand behind we and stand up for we, you know. Allow the people and then now when I tell you say the people them now obligated to give back some reparation money. All on a joker. That's why we the people me blame, you know. Are we the people me blame? Some people, the news reporter here asked me a question. Said, do you think Jamaica would be better off if they didn't get independent and was still governing by the British? Or we had, like how you'd have the US Virgin Islands, we become like a US Jamaica island. Or like under one of them regime, they will become one of the island, them like Hawaii is to the United States, we become one of that to the United States. So, you know, I tell him so I couldn't answer him same time, I have to go think about it, I have to go process that. For real, I had to go and process that, and here's why. I think Jamaica can be prosperous being independent, you know. First, they need to be fully independent. We don't want no ties with no country, period. The only ties we want with countries within the Caribbean hemisphere, right? So, in our Caribbean water and them place there. And then now, when we all come together as a body first, as one big Caribbean community, then now we see what we all have, because we're going to trade amongst ourselves. This is how we can be much more independent. So everybody just release the independent, the people them, and give the people them independent, and we come together and we say, yo, our piece of land where we have called Jamaica, it good for grow banana, yam and them something there. And you say, well, mine good for grow chocho, orange and them something there. And you say, yo, you know, so the other day, my people them a dig and them find island. I say, what? So we don't need nothing from Iraq now, US them. And our next man say, yo, right now, you know, with technology up and we create our own cloud and our own phone system and we own this, you know. So we don't need no digital fare coming our place then. So what we do now, we amongst ourselves in a little Caribbean water, they just come up and we trade amongst one another and we do this. Because we not go war with one. Whichever you know, two Caribbean islands go at war yet. So we don't know if you're fact. We not go war with one another. So we are trade amongst one another. And we leave them out for stop use with, because them keep using us. And not Jamaica alone, I have one away. And look for our complexion the whole of way down there. I see them. So them treat all of the same way. We need to come together. And that unity that we want, and that's where it starts from. And then now, we go and look towards the South America first, go all the way up the chain. And we say, listen, we don't want no money from you. A barter thing we are dealing with. You give with this and we give that. So we, in return now, know say, if you want 10 barrels of sugar, or you want 10 barrels of oil, we have to have the manpower. So now we are going to give people work now, because we are trade off now. So now we are give people work. You can't come go on like you want to dictate how we run with things. No, sir. My people them lack knowledge and them get caught up in the wrong book. Them get caught up and read one book named 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, and that my people them get caught up with. I read the wrong book, 50 Shades of Grey. For real. Anyway, my people, that's my time still enough. And as I said before and I'll say again, if we can come together and unite, what a force we will be. We need nobody from the outside for give we money. I talk about them and invest 30 million in our country. Be careful and watch your sign where you sign. Because you're going to sign for 30 million or 40 million now. And then the poor people in Jamaica have got suffer to pay that back now. Because when the word invest come in, you know, because them no mess with for them I and cross them tea with them word, you know. And you they are talk about, well, Miss VP, you're like a beacon of light to women in Jamaica. The fact that you come from here, yo, listen, she's more American than anything else. And Jamaicans now, especially the women, them can look for their place. Them too can be vice president and president. And you think the Jamaican girl them not been know that? Them been know all of that. This is not new. Where you focus on is that money that them say them invest, and that your focus supposed to be upon. Them thing that piss me off in a start. Anyway, my people, that's my time. And I'll be back tomorrow again. Same time, same place. Same big bad station. FLEXX TV. Thank you so very much for giving me at least a minute of your time, 30 seconds of your time, 15 seconds, 5 seconds of your time. The fact that you even give me 5 seconds, the fact that you even think about going there, I really appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Looking forward to do it again tomorrow. And I know that we will be here. I just want you to know that in everything you're doing in your walk, think twice. Love you guys. Have a good one.
We and everybody can go. We and everybody can flex. You know the tricks. Trust is something when you can't get to everybody. Me and my family, them good. And if you're not ready, we not ready. You know how the straps go. How you feel say we a friend. And you broke bread with me enemy them. And you want pop champagne with man with 7 for dead. Little Judas, you know, sister, something wrong with your head. Oh God, and then I tell man about business. And you know business, about people business. just your businesses. Loyalty on my business. Dark before me sell out, me all out. Cause I don't trust nobody who's friends with everybody. We and everybody can go. We and everybody can flex. You know the strips. Trust is something where you can't get to everybody. Me and my family done good. Oh, if you're not red, we not red. You know how the strips go. No, listen.